Well, good evening, GGO Nation. Aaron Dorr here with Georgia Gun Owners with kind of a late night update for all of our friends across the state, guys. So let me know where you're watching from. As always, we're turning on the chat feature right now. Let me know where you're watching from. Get your location up there on the comment section. Help the video be seen by more people. Guys, we're a month away from the primary, the 24th. There we go. It's going live right now. We're a month away from the primary, folks. There's a lot going on right now across the state. We're going to talk about our candidate survey program tonight and how you guys can help us get these candidates on the record and why it's so important. Just kind of a slower conversation tonight. But guys, as always, you let us know where you're watching from. Give me a sound off. If you can hear me okay, let me know. I see Stuart Griffin, my good friend, watching right now in Macon. We got Peter, we got D, we got Kizzer, we got Bobby. Everyone's getting signed in tonight. We appreciate that. Gary's in his truck in northern Georgia, so it's great to see you guys popping on here. A lot going on, guys. It's been a huge year. Y'all know that. The fight for constitutional carry is over, but there's a lot more going on right now when it comes to our gun rights. When it comes to the next session, we have to fight for SAPA. We're going to push on that next session, but part of getting towards being in a spot to pass pro-gun bills is to figure out which candidates running for office, especially in the primaries, are pro-gun and which ones are not. I think we all know now how important that survey program is. It was that survey that Brian Kemp signed in 2018 that gave us the ammo that we had to have to use for the last couple of years and say, Brian, Governor, we need you to sign we need you to keep your promise here. You sign the survey. We need you now to support this bill. And so it's not just the primary for governor we're talking about, guys. Tonight, we're focusing especially on our legislative candidate survey program. So, guys, here's how this works. GGO knows, and you guys all know, all of GGO Nation knows, we all know that everybody running for office here in Georgia is pro-gun, right? That's what they tell us. I mean, how Stacey Abrams says that she's pro-gun, right? Everyone's pro-gun. Everybody's pro-gun, especially in a Republican Party primary. Of course, that's not true at all, but that's what they tell you on the campaign stump. And so our entire purpose with our survey program is to figure out who's really pro-gun and who just wants us to think that they are. We all know why they want us to think that. They want us to vote for them because they tell us they're pro-gun. But GGO is always about the business of figuring out who is actually pro-gun and who is lying to gun owners, so we can give you guys that information so you guys can make tough decisions, educated decisions at election time, which, again, we're what, T-minus not quite 1 month away. And so that's why GGO has already gone out with our candidate survey program. It's been mailed to all the candidates. It's been emailed to all the candidates. And we're going to begin in the next couple of days to show you guys the results of our survey program on our website. But there is a bunch of people out there right now that need a little bit of extra reminding from GGO Nation as to why they better get off their butt and sign the GGO candidate survey. A lot of people are asking right now about who has signed it, who hasn't signed it. We're going to get that information to you guys later on in a future broadcast. Tonight, I want you guys to have a copy of our survey yourself. I'm going to post it right now in the comment section. This is our legislative survey. Legislative. A lot of people asking us right now about gubernatorial. Folks, I'm just going to tell you right now, we're not talking about Candace Taylor. We're not talking about Brian Kemp. Not talking about Purdue. Tonight, we're talking about state legislative candidates, state house, state senate. These are the guys who put the bills on the governor's desk or not. And so we're doing a survey program on gubernatorial and on congressional. But tonight, we're talking state legislative, your state house, your state senate candidates. Because we all know we have these boss hog rhinos in Atlanta. They damn near toppled constitutional carry this year. Guys like Jeff Mullis, right? People like that. And so our job here at GGO is to separate who's actually pro-gun and who just says they are. And that's what we need you guys to help us out with. So the survey, it's right here in front of you. It's in the comment section. I'm going to go through it here momentarily and give you guys the questions that we're asking here. And then we want you guys to help us out. We are counting on the members at GGO to take these surveys and give them to candidates in your community when they're coming to your town for forums or coming to your neighborhood for forums, talking to your friends, talking to your family. We want you guys to hand them our survey at a forum and say, here's the GGO candidate survey, and I want to know where you stand on our gun rights. It's not hard. It's about, what is it here? Let me check here. I think it's 9 questions. 10 questions. Not very hard. And again, the answers to this will help us figure out who's pro-gun and who's not. So question number 1, very simple. If elected, would you oppose and vote no on universal gun registration or similar bills that would ban all private party gun sales and make criminals out of Georgians who lawfully transfer firearms without first begging government permission? Very simple. Universal background checks. How will you vote? Question number 2, if elected, would you oppose and vote no on red flag gun confiscation laws or similar bills that would shred Georgians' due process rights by disarming gun owners who have never been convicted of a crime? There's a lot of Republicans across the country right now who are in favor of this. I mean, the 2 sponsors in the Senate are Florida Republicans, Senator Scott and Rubio. So Republicans back this all across the country. We want to know, what would your state House and state Senate candidate do on a red flag gun seizure bill? Question number 3, the AR-15 question. If elected, would you oppose and vote no on legislation that bans the manufacture, sale, or possession of semi-automatic firearms and their standard capacity magazines, knowing they don't stop crime, but it's only used to harass gun owners? We want to know. Very simple, right? Question 4, if elected, would you oppose and vote no on legislation that makes it a crime for Georgians between the age of 18 and 20 to buy and own firearms, leaving them defenseless, unable to defend themselves or their loved ones? I mean, this is one of the biggest insults of all, right? You have these guys who they have no problem taking tax money from an 18-year-old, a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old. We have no problem putting 20-year-olds in the military, sending them across the world, right? Full auto everything. But you come back to Georgia and we don't want you to have a firearm until you're 21. It's utter BS. It's utter BS. That's question number 4 on our survey. We're getting through them here pretty quickly. Question number 5, if he elected, would you oppose and vote no on legislation that makes criminals out of Georgians who buy firearms without waiting an arbitrary number of days first? This has been a big push last year after the spa shootings, right? Mandatory waiting periods. We all know what that really means, right? Mandatory waiting periods just means one more chance for criminals to kill, rape, and attack law-abiding Georgians while we wait for some stupid government permit slip to get a firearm. We are very much opposed to that, and we want to know where your candidates are on that. Question number 6, if elected, would you oppose and vote no on all so-called mental health legislation that allows law-abiding Georgians to be disarmed before able to exercise their due process rights in a court of law? It's kind of like red flag gun seizures. That's the big push these days. They move from somebody being adjudicated defective to being simply declared defective by a court, right? By a court. And if somebody says that if they declare you an offender, then your gun rights are gone before you've ever even had time to go to court and try to contest that. We are very much opposed to that. 3 more questions. If elected, would you oppose and vote no on all methods of gun control, including those the media calls reasonable? This could include bans on so-called ghost guns, new misdemeanor offenses to disarm firearms and their owners, rather, new taxes on ammunition, civil liability insurance requirements for gun owners, and the use of pistol braces. We want to know where you stand, right? Question number 7. That's the question. So and finally, 2 more questions. If elected, would you support and vote yes on legislation that eliminates government-mandated gun-free zones that leave law-abiding Georgians helpless against violent killers looking to rack up a body count? Question number 9. And finally, question number 10. If elected, would you support and vote yes on the Second Amendment Preservation Act. That's the big offensive push for GGO next session. We want to know where they stand on that. So, guys, these are our 10 questions. They're very simple. Takes about 5 minutes to fill it out for anybody who can halfway read, which means most politicians probably need 20 minutes, right? But again, this is the push right now because everybody's going to tell you, everyone's telling us, oh, I'm 100% pro-gun. Well, that's great. What does that actually mean? What does it mean when you're under the attack from the Bloomberg-funded left? What does it mean when rhinos in Atlanta are telling you, oh, it's okay, it's only a simple red flag bill. We've taken out the ex parte hearing. It's okay. What are you going to say after a shooting and the entire state media apparatus is demanding a waiting period on gun owners? See, we know you're pro-gun now. It's an election season. The primary's a month away. Our question is, how will you vote for us? How will you fight for us when it's hard? That's the question. That's the question. So, guys, the surveys have been printed out. They've been mailed to every candidate. They have been emailed out to every candidate, right? So that's already underway. But many of them are going to try to evade. Many of them are just simply not going to answer. Maybe some will tell us, like Jeff Mullis, screw you, right? And so this is our opportunity together, yours and mine, to go after these candidates. So that's why we put it right there on our page. You can print it off yourself, take it to work, show it to your friends, show it to your family, give them all a copy. And when they go to candidate forums and they're happening, I mean, we all watched the debate last night. That was brutal, huh? What a debate that was, huh? When they go into these candidate forums, when the candidates come out on the local parade routes or come into your local GOP meetings or wherever it is they're coming out to, this is your chance. Stand up in the back row or the front row and say, Representative X, Senator Y, or candidate for these offices, I want to know where you stand on gun rights, not just the platitudes that you give when you need my help to get past your primary. How will you actually vote in the real bills? I want you to sign the survey, put your name on the bottom, date it, timestamp it, so I know as a voter in your district where you stand. That is what we're asking GGO Nation to help us do, guys. It is important more than ever that especially in red states like Georgia, we get these candidates on the record because you know what? Again, everyone's pro-gun at election time, and then very few are actually pro-gun once we're in session, the fight is underway. That's why it took so many years to pass constitutional carry. We have bigger fights coming up now. We have SEPA, a much bigger fight, but we need it very badly. So take this survey, guys, print it off, give it to your state Senate candidate, state House candidate, and tell them, I want you on the record for or against. Either way, I want to know where you stand when it comes to my gun rights, so I know as a voter in your district where you are on this issue. Guys, that's what we need. Many people are asking us, hey, send one to Stacey Abrams. Olin, we already did, my man. We're going to have a video on our gubernatorial survey very, very quickly. Not tonight, but we've already sent it to Stacey Abrams. We've already sent it to all the rest of the gubernatorial candidates. We've also, though, put it out to all of the congressional candidates, U.S. Senate and U.S. House. And guys, we have some information to give you on that in a future video that you're probably not going to find very encouraging. But, I mean, it's going to make you mad. It's going to make you mad. A lot of these candidates are arrogant. They believe you and I owe them their allegiance just because they claim a certain party affiliation. You and I both know how weak so many of them actually are. That's why our survey program is more important than ever. So we're going to have more information on that in the gubernatorial and congressional surveys very soon. For tonight, guys, that's what we have. Print off a survey, take it around to your candidate forums, give it to the candidates in person and say it's 10 questions, takes you about 10 minutes. Sign the survey. Do it now, guys. We'll have more information from GGO headquarters very, very soon. For now, guys, take care. Get involved in our fight. Join GGO.com. Join GGO.com. We'll keep you guys informed. Take care.